So for our free response question, we are going to want to sketch the graph and find the equation of a parabola whose focus is at -4, -1, and the directrix is the line x equals, -8. We also have to find its vertex. So I'm going to start out by sketching what we know. So we know the focus is over here at -4, -1. So I'll put a dot there. And the directrix is at x equals -8. So there's a vertical line. And it should be a straight line. I can assure you this one won't be either. Bit better. So I went ahead and wrote out the equation over here that we are given to describe a parabola. So if we start out with the vertex, the equation for the vertex is just h, k. And knowing that the equation for the focus is h plus p, k, we can easily find the k value by looking up here. So we know that k, equals -1. We can also see that the vertex is going to be directly in between the directrix and the focus. So if we make a dot there, it is at the x-coordinate -6 and the y-coordinate -1, which matches up with what we found before. So we can write the vertex as -6, -1, meaning h equals -6. There is one part of our answer. So far we've identified k and h, so we need to identify p. To do this, we can use the directrix formula, which is x equals h minus p, and we know that x equals 8, and h equals -6 minus p, and then we can solve for p. Sorry, I meant -8. So now we can solve for p, giving us p equals 2. So now what we can do, we can plug all this information we have into an equation. So we will get, let's make this blue, y minus our k value, which is -1, so that turns into y plus 1, squared equals 4 times p, which we got 2, so 2 times 4 is 8, times x minus h, which is -6. So that turns to a positive. And here is our equation for the parabola. So to graph it, I'm just going to go ahead and find the y-intercept by plugging in 0 for x. So when we plug in 0 for x, we'll get 8 times 0 plus 6, which is just 8 times 6, which is 48. So we get that is equal to this y plus 1 squared. So we can solve down here for y by finding the square root of both sides. And that'll give us y plus 1 is equal to plus or minus root 48. And when simplified, that equals plus or minus 4 root 3. And then we can take this 1 over, so y, the y-intercept equals plus or minus 4 root 3 minus 1, which will give us a value of just under 6, plus or minus 6. So I am going to mark those values, then I will sketch a graph, and please forgive me, it's going to be horrible. Oh my god. And that should be, if you can draw better, what our parabola looks like.